All right, thank you very much, Adam, and good afternoon to all the traders here in the room. Again, my name is Wesley Sinks, and I do work in partner relations here at NinjaTrader. First of all, would like to give a special thank you to Indicator Warehouse. Everyone over there on the team's been great, including Adam. And, as he had mentioned, we do work pretty closely together here on some things. So it's always great to be a part of something that he has going on or something at Indicator Warehouse. So I wanted to share with you guys today some of the many ways that your trading can benefit by using NinjaTrader as your trading software solution. So, maybe if you're kind of new to NinjaTrader, or maybe if you just need to maybe brush up on some different things. Definitely a lot here. And then I also do have a special offer on purchasing NinjaTrader, just kind of as a holiday special for everyone here in attendance. So that's an exclusive one for everyone here in the room. You'll have to stick around for the end. I'll be sharing a little more information on how you can take advantage of those offers. Now, I wanted to start with sharing with you guys some of the information about NinjaTrader, who exactly we are and what it is that we do offer here. And I wanted to also cover some different topics such as market replay. We'll kind of start with that since we're actually after market hours now. It'd be a good time to kind of demonstrate how you can use that right away out of the box when you use NinjaTrader for free. Also go over how you can trade directly from your chart with ChartTrader, ATM strategies, and how you can kind of use those to really benefit your trading, get the most out of using those semi-automated strategies for your discretionary trading. Also going over charting and indicators, how you can go ahead and load some of your favorite Indicator Warehouse indicators on your chart. Also be going over the market analyzer window, how you can use that to really pull all of this all together. And then also, if I do have time here at the end, I will be going over automated strategies and how you can go ahead and backtest your own strategy that you can create without actually any coding experience. So that would be a great thing to catch as well. And then at the end, I do have an exclusive webinar offer for NinjaTrader for you guys today. Now, first of all, a little bit about NinjaTrader here. Now, NinjaTrader was founded in 2003 and established in June 2004 as a privately held company. We do have our offices here, our headquarters in Denver, Colorado, but we also do have some offices in Germany as well as the Netherlands. NinjaTrader does develop and sell high-performance trading software as well as market data services. We currently do have an ecosystem of over 350 partners that do recommend NinjaTrader as their preferred trading platform to develop third-party trading systems and indicators such as Indicator Warehouse. Also a little bit here about Kinetic. Now, Kinetic is the preferred data feed for the NinjaTrader 7 platform. You can actually use this absolutely for free for end-of-day data. As soon as you get started with NinjaTrader, you can also use streaming quote service from Kinetic for as low as $50 a month. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, learn a little bit more, definitely go to the Kinetic website. That's www.kinetic.com. There's some additional information available there. And I wanted to just remind you guys at this point as well that this is an interactive event. So any questions that you may have, feel free to enter those into the room. Adam will go ahead and relay those to me. If it's something that's kind of relates to what we're discussing at the time, it might be a good time for me to go ahead and take care of those. Otherwise, kind of maybe hold those to the end, and we can get around to discussing some of the questions you may have. And as I had mentioned, I wanted to start today with market replay, a little bit here about market replay. Now, market replay is the ability to record market data and then replay it at another time. This is the same idea as recording your favorite TV show during the day and then watching it at some other more convenient time. Now, unlike most products that only allow you to replay one market at a time, NinjaTrader does provide synchronous replay of any and all recorded markets and does deliver this market data to all NinjaTrader windows as if it were happening in real time. Therefore, you can have multiple superdomes and charts replaying different markets all at the same time. You can trade in simulation against this data at varying levels of replay speed. And lastly, you can use this feature absolutely for free as soon as you download NinjaTrader by downloading replay data that is offered from our servers to replay at your own convenience and fine-tune your trading before even investing a penny in the markets. So I wanted to kind of get started with that, show you guys how you can get started right away with market replay. So I'm going to open up the NinjaTrader Control Center. So if you do click on the NinjaTrader icon, if you just installed NinjaTrader or if maybe you're familiar with it, you know that right away when you open NinjaTrader, you're going to see the Control Center. Now, the Control Center is going to be the springboard for the entire application. This means that all windows and functions of NinjaTrader can be accessed through the Control Center. Of course, first I want to go ahead and make sure that I do have replay data available to use within my charts, different order entry windows, and so on. So I'm actually going to click on the File menu here. Just go down to Utilities, and then you'll notice we do have an option available here to download replay data. Now that's going to be downloading that data from our servers here at NinjaTrader. So you'll want to go ahead and select more popular futures contract, as we do have a limited amount of data that is available here. So I'm actually going to select the ES December contract from my default list. If you happen to want to go ahead and define from the type here, you can actually select future. You can type in that future name, and then you can actually select the expiry. One thing to note with that is that expiry is going to be sensitive to the date that you are downloading that data. So if you'd like to download data from a previous day, that would be a previous front month for futures contract, you'll have to make sure that you have the correct expiry for that date. So since I am actually going to be downloading some past data, I want to go ahead and go with the December contracts of the ES. And then the date here that I want to download that data for. So I'm actually going to download that for a date that we have back here in November. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 14th of November. And then down here at the bottom, we do have the option to download available level 1 data and level 2 data, so we can check those or uncheck those as we'd like. A little bit more information here. Level 1 data is going to be the data that you do see on your chart, so the price action is going to be that level 1 data. Level 2 is going to be your market depth, so that's going to be what you're going to see to drive your Superdome window, different things like that. So I'll go ahead and click OK at this time. Our download has begun. We can see that here in the bottom right-hand corner of the control center. So that's going to download that level 1 data, then the level 2 data. Once we don't see anything remaining in the bottom right-hand corner, we'll know that that data is completed, that download. However, if we would like to maybe record live data that we have coming into NinjaTrader for market replay, we can always set that to actually record from the Tools menu. So we go to Tools, select Options here. And once we get the Options menu open, we can go over here to Data, and then we do actually have an option available where you can click on Record for Market Replay. So if you click on that, you can go ahead and record in any of the windows within NinjaTrader that you may have data coming in, so whether that be a chart, order entry window, something like that, or even a market analyzer window, which seems to work the best, as you can record several instruments all at once. And so if you have a market analyzer open throughout the day with your favorite instruments on there, you can go ahead and check that Record for Market Replay option, leave that open throughout the day, and you can record all of those instruments through that market analyzer window.
Hey, Wes?
I'll go ahead and click OK here. Yeah.
Quick question. How far delayed is this data? In other words, let's say that I, for whatever reason, come online at noon. Can I get the same day's data from the morning, or is it always like 1 day back?
With the data that's available from the NinjaTrader servers, that's going to be after the close, after the market close each day. So it's usually a half hour after that does come available.
Okay. And you had said the front day. Does that mean that you're just downloading that 1 day, or are you saying, let's say you went 7 days back, it's that day and then 7 days forward?
It's going to be that day that you do select there. As far as with the front month, what you're going to want to make sure that you have the same futures front month that's trading, before that futures contract does expire. So if you maybe want to download something that was from the December contract instead of the March, you'd have to make sure to select that correct expiry for the download.
Okay, that makes sense. And for the market replay, does Ninja still ship with that defaulted as on, or is it now defaulted as off?
The market replay feature is going to be something that you can use within NinjaTrader as soon as you download it. So that is, as soon as you download NinjaTrader, you can go ahead and download that market replay data.
No, I meant where you can record your own, like you just showed earlier, the market replay recorder, if you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be set by default to be unchecked, I believe.
Okay, because if you're trying to squeeze a little bit of more performance out of your system, if you turn that off, do you see any kind of performance change?
With that, the only thing really that's a limitation there is that you are recording that. So having that data actually, instead of just coming in and then also saving, updating files, those replay files, that you could see a little bit there as far as resources, being taken up. The biggest thing with that replay data, having that set to record, is the amount of data that you may have. Eventually, if it's something that you do record on a daily basis, you may accumulate quite a bit of replay data, and that's just going to be dependent on what you have available as far as memory on your machine.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. So once we have our replay data downloaded, we can actually connect to our market replay connection from the File menu and the Connect option. And we'll just select Market Replay Connection. And once we've connected, we'll notice that we do receive a Market Replay control here. It has a few different things available for us. We have obviously the play, pause, and fast forward buttons available on that control, but we also do have our from and to dates. We'll want to go ahead and set those a little bit closer to the data that we want to play back. So let me actually move this from date a little bit closer to what we have available. And then I'll move my to date to where we have available data as well. If you ever want to check what data you do have available, maybe you have a large number of or quite a bit of market replay data downloaded or available for you, you can go ahead and right-click and select Available Data and get an idea of where you have that data available, what days, and everything with that. So another thing you can do from that right-click context menu is actually go to a specific time within that replay data. So you see that we do actually have a slider. You can slide to a specific time, but it's going to be a little more precise if you want to actually go to that time by using the Go To function. Then we can select the date that we'd like to go to, as well as the time precisely where we want to move to that with that data.
So Wes, let me just interject real quick. Folks, if I was to rate, like, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how powerful this is for honing your skills as a day trader, I'm putting this up there at a 9, and I don't give anything a 10. I use this all the time, and what I do, let's say there's a particular day that has a market characteristic to it, like it was a heavy trending day or it was a terrible chop day. I'll save that data and mark it somewhere in my notepad so that I can go back and practice in certain conditions that I clearly know. So you don't have to always be searching for some specific day. You may find 4 or 5 key days that really represent somewhere where you want to be practicing, because this is like this is as close as you get to the real world without suffering for being in the real world. So if you ever hear the adage practice, 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 this is how you do it.
All right, absolutely, and I appreciate that good word there on that, Adam. Definitely something that I use a lot on after hours as well. It's going to definitely benefit your trading. Taking a look at different setups and how to really approach different market situations. So the next thing I actually want to do is open up a chart. We can kind of get an idea of how we can get started using this data, and it's going to be just as we would with live trading. So we can actually go to the File menu, select New and Chart. And we'll want to make sure and load the chart for the instrument that we have, and that does include the front month with the futures contract there. So since we do have December contract for that ES available, we'll want to make sure and select that from our list here. If we don't happen to have the instrument available in that list, we can actually type that in manually, and that would include putting in the space, then the month, and the year. All right, so when I click New, I've added that to my data series. I can go ahead at this time and configure that how I want that data series to be plotted on the chart. Currently, that's set today. Since we do have some intraday data available, and it's actually tick-by-tick data, we can use a tick time frame, we can use a minute time frame, whatever we like to trade. I'm actually going to set that to a minute time frame, and I'll just set that for a 15-minute chart. Go ahead and click OK. And by default, within NinjaTrader, you will open up a candlestick chart. So we have that, pretty plain here, that 15-minute candlestick chart of our ES 1212, and that's going to be for the 14th of November, and that's at 9 a.m. local time. So that's one thing to note as well. This is going to be based off of local time wherever you are located. So that's definitely an important factor in this replay data. All right, so as soon as I actually click the play button on this replay control, we can see that another candle does start building a new candle on our chart, meaning that we are actually replaying that data, and this is going to be actually at market speed from that time. We do have the current time that we're at with our replay data available up here. We also have the speed currently set to 1x. If we click pause, it will let us know that we are paused. We can actually speed that data up as well if we'd like to maybe see our trades play out a little bit quicker than they would real time. So we can speed that up all the way up to 500 times market speed. However, if you don't see any need for 500 times speed, there are definitely some different levels in here that may work better, 10 times speed, things like that. So if we want to trade from our chart, we'll need to actually enable chart trader. And you'll notice here on the toolbar we do have an icon here. It's going to be the fifth from the right that does say chart trader. If we click on that, right away we do receive the chart trader panel. We have some buttons on that panel. Our collapse button, so we can go ahead and collapse that and have it remain active in the background. We also do have our buy market, sell market, buy ask, sell ask, buy bid, and sell bid buttons, as well as a reverse button which would reverse any positions that we may be holding in the market at market value. And we also have a close button to close out of any positions we have in the market, as well as cancel any pending orders. Now, before I get too carried away with trading from my chart, I actually wanted to maybe add some of the different studies that I may like to use on my chart. And if that is something that you have actually imported into NinjaTrader, something maybe from Indicator Warehouse, you can actually right-click on the chart, and you'll notice that that will be available in the indicators window. So if you click on indicators, you'll notice right away here that those will be listed in this menu as well. Now, if you have any questions as far as importing those, it's actually pretty simple to import them. And I believe that Adam does provide some pretty detailed instructions as far as getting those imported into NinjaTrader. Of course, that's going to be by default from the File menu, Utilities, and then Import NinjaScript. So you should be able to, at that time, navigate on your machine, find the zip file, and then actually import that indicator into NinjaTrader. All right, so once we do have that available, we can load the indicators we'd like to on the chart. I'm going to go ahead and just use some of the pre-configured NinjaTrader indicators here. We do have many that are available within NinjaTrader right away when you get started. So I'm actually going to add just a few of those in here that I like to use in my trading. We have our relative strength index, and I'm going to add a few simple moving averages as well. You can change the parameters for these as well. I'm going to go ahead and change the period for my first SMA to 21, and for the second one to a 50. Now, to differentiate between the two, I can actually change the colors of these as well. Many indicators within NinjaTrader have a lot of different options that you can go ahead and change how those are going to plot on the chart. A lot of custom indicators in NinjaTrader have those options available for you as well. So you can definitely dress things up and make them look how you'd like to on your chart. And I'll actually leave the plots of this RSI as they are. Just change the period on that. Now, when I click OK, you'll notice that these indicators are loaded on the chart. We can go ahead and get started, taking a look at those right away. I actually wanted to, as well, before we get too far, change some of the properties of the chart. So maybe you're not a fan of a white background on a chart. You can always change that if you'd like. You can disable the grid lines if you'd like, or change how those are plotted. I like to just go ahead and set those values to false for plotting the horizontal and vertical grid lines. And I use usually an off-white color, kind of a bluish color on my charts usually. So go ahead and find a good one there. Click OK, and then you can see that has changed there, maybe a little bit easier on your eyes in your trading when you're trading directly from your chart. So now that we have everything ready to go, maybe we have all the analysis on the chart that we'd like to take a look at, we can go ahead and get started trading in simulation against this data if we'd like to, by playing that back and entering our trades either from these quick buttons, or we do actually have options available if we right-click on the chart, depending on where, to place orders on the chart. So we can actually right-click to place stop or limit orders. So we do actually have the option, if we right-click above the market, to place a sell limit, a buy stop, or a buy stop limit order. Now, if we right-click below the market, you'll notice we do have the inverse available. So we have a buy limit, sell stop, and sell stop limit available, and we have these available at the prices where we did right mouse click. So one thing that you may want to do if you are placing those on the chart manually from the right-click menu is you may want to actually enable from the cursor menu here the crosshair. So that's going to give you a marker over on the right-hand side where the price is that you are actually placing that order. So you can right-click once you're at the price where you'd like, and then you'll see that you're placing that order at that price. So that works pretty well if you are actually going to be placing those limits and stop orders manually, maybe planning for a breakout, something like that. Now, if you'd like to, enter the market with an ATM strategy, I just wanted to share a little bit about that. And I'm actually a little bit behind on my slideshow, so let me move a few slides here. We did go over a little bit with ChartTrader there. If you need any additional information on ChartTrader, always feel free to contact us, and you can actually contact me directly through sending an email to sales@ninjatrader.com, and just put "Attention Wesley" in the subject line. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have regarding trading from your chart, different things that I may be covering throughout today's presentation. So I actually wanted to cover now advanced trade management technology and how you can use this within NinjaTrader to really benefit your trades in so many different ways. And you can get started using this, with Market Replay and learn a little bit more about how that's going to work for you.
Hey, Wes, just
Yeah.
right before you dive in, excuse me, I had a good question here. If you have a lot of Market Replay data saved to your machine, do you have to manually delete, if let's say you want to clean some of that out, or is there an auto purge, or how does that work?
With that, I would always recommend, if you do want to get rid of some Market Replay data, to contact our support team, so support@ninjatrader.com, and kind of see what they think there. Sometimes, it's not always necessary to, get rid of some of that data if you'd like to, but usually that's going to be a manual process, and, one of our support members would be more than happy to look into that with you.
Great. Thank you.
All right, so continuing on here and diving into advanced trade management, I wanted to share a little bit about how you can use this. Now, NinjaTrader ATM strategies, basically what that is that NinjaTrader does provide you with the flexibility to trade with or without this advanced trade management. Now, these are going to be designed to provide discretionary traders with semi-automated features to manage their positions. So this isn't to be confused with NinjaTrader strategies or automated trading systems. Now, an ATM strategy does allow you to predetermine your profit target and stop loss before you enter a trade. But not only can you do that, you can also define your stop loss, profit target, but you can also quickly define a stop strategy, allowing you to determine auto break-even parameters as well as maybe more advanced trailing stops. So this is going to work really well for us. So first of all, let's go ahead and just set up a basic ATM strategy. I'll right-click, or actually left-click, on this button over here to the right of ATM strategy within my ChartTrader. And then we have our menu here for ATM strategy. We can get started configuring that. Of course, the first box that we have here is our order quantity. Obviously, if you want to trade one lot, you can do that. If you'd like to trade several contracts, you can do that as well just by changing the number there. We also have our time and force field currently set to day. You can also set that to good till canceled. I'll leave that on day for the time being. That's going to give me, for a higher frequency trade, it's going to work just fine. Now, for the ATM strategy drop-down menu, I want to actually select custom. And as soon as I do so, you'll notice that the stop loss and profit target fields are unlocked there. I can go ahead and start using those. Of course, the stop loss and profit target are going to be defined in a value of ticks. So if we'd like to enter our stop loss maybe 6 ticks behind our entry price, we can always enter a value of 6 there. And then maybe if we'd like to see our profit target be 10 ticks ahead of our entry price, we can enter a value of 10, click OK, and then as soon as we enter the market, whether that be through a limit order that may be hit, stop order that's hit, or actually buying or selling at market values, we can see right away that we do have that stop loss as well as profit target attached to that right away. Now, if we wanted to see how this is going to play out in the market, we can go ahead with our replay control. Let me just move that back over here. We can speed that up, get a little more idea of how this ATM strategy is going to work for us, whether it was a good idea to go long there, rather than short. If we'd like to, at this time, maybe manually tighten up our stop, we can definitely do that by left mouse clicking once on the stop, just right on that flag there, and then moving it to the price we'd like to modify and left mouse clicking once more. So we've effectively there protected some profit. If we'd like to see that happen automatically, however, we can also do that within the ATM strategy, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment here as soon as we do see this ATM strategy play out here for us. All right, so I did tighten my stop up a little bit too much there, and my stop was filled, but we actually did exit the market there with a little bit of profit. You can see the entry and exit there on the chart. Now, if you happen to maybe not want to see those entries and exits on the chart, what you can always do is right-click and then select Data Series. And then from within the Data Series menu, you can go down to the bottom here on the right-hand side, and then for plot executions, just change this from text and marker to Do Not Plot and click OK. So as soon as you click OK, you'll notice that those have been removed from the chart. You can go ahead, this cleans up that text and markers there. You can also plot just the markers if you'd like to maybe not see all the text there. It's going to work a lot better for you if you're doing some higher frequency trading. All right, so I have that first trade there we did go ahead and take. Maybe I'd like to at this time define an ATM strategy with an auto break even so I can modify my stop once I do see a certain number of ticks in profit. Now, to do that, we need to go back into our ATM strategy menu, and then from the stop strategy menu here at the bottom of our parameters, we'll go ahead and select custom, and that opens up our stop strategy menu. Now, the profit target here is going to be the number of ticks in profit we would like to see before we see a modification to our stop. So maybe after we see 5 ticks in our favor, we'd like to then move our stop loss to break even, maybe plus 1 tick, or maybe actually we can enter a negative value in there if we'd like to move that below our break-even price or below our entry price. So if we wanted that to be maybe 1 tick behind where we did enter the market, we can always enter a negative value in there. So I'll just go ahead and use a positive 1 value there, maybe to cover commissions or whatever it may take there, whether that be 1 tick, whether that be 2 ticks, depending on how many contracts you're entering the market with. We'll go ahead and click OK, and OK once more. And we'll enter the market once more here with our simulated replay account. And we'll go ahead and start that market replay going there again at, looks like we're at 9:38 on the 14th of November. We can speed that up if we'd like. And we'll need to see some ticks in profit. I'm not sure if we will based on the price action we're seeing there on the chart, but if we see 5 ticks in profit, we should see that automatic modification of our stop loss. All right, so that was modified to break even plus 1 tick, and that was done automatically with our ATM strategy. So that's one of the benefits of that ATM strategy, is that it's going to provide you with that PC speed in your modification of your stop if you'd like to set that up.
Wes?
And my target actually was filled on that trade. Go ahead.
If you want to move the default buffer, if you will, from the hard right edge over to the left, so that you have your price action is not sitting on top of those X's, in a chart trader. Can you show them real quick that setting?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's actually a great question, and one that we do often get here in working with chart trader and trading directly from your chart, so you can see a little bit better the price action of the chart. But that's actually going to be from the properties menu. So I did define the color of the chart background from there. Just right-click, go down to properties. And then you'll see here that we do actually have this right side margin option. That's going to be the margin that we want to see between our price action and actually the axis of the chart. So we can go ahead and increase that value. It's going to be set by default to 4. And if we enter just a value of 20, that's going to be, of course, in pixels there. So if we enter 20, click apply. That may give us enough room there. If we wanted to get maybe just a little bit more, we can go ahead and increase that if we'd like to whatever value we'd like. And it's going to give us a little more space there on the right-hand side for when we're entering and exiting the market using Chart Trader. Definitely a great question, and I appreciate that, Adam. All right, so just moving on here with Chart Trader, moving on with our ATM strategies. From there, I wanted to also show you guys how you can set up an auto trail with that ATM strategy. But before I do, I wanted to disconnect from the from that market replay connection. Kind of was able to show you the benefits of using that. However, I wanted to just go ahead and connect to my simulated data feeds to really show you how these are going to play out. As I don't have any insight into the market here. So let me go ahead and disconnect from the market replay connection and then connect to the simulated data feed. Now the simulated data feed is going to be a handy tool in testing out how exactly your ATM strategies that you may be using are going to work out. And don't be alarmed here with the price that we do have on the chart. That's obviously not reflective of the market figures that we are seeing at this time, so that's nothing to be too alarmed about right now. I'll just go ahead and get started with that trailing stop. So if I go back into my ATM strategy menu, you'll see that we still have that same ATM strategy configured. However, if I'd like to change the stop strategy, I can select custom one more time from that drop menu. And I'll just go ahead and change my profit trigger and plus values to 0 for the auto break even. And then I want it to work down here in the auto trail. So you see that we do have 3 parameters available for the auto trail. I'd like to start from the right hand side here from that profit trigger. Since we're already familiar with that value, of course that's going to be the number of ticks in profit that we'd like to see before a modification does occur. Maybe we'd like to see 3 ticks in profit before our first modification of our auto trail. And our stop loss is going to be the number of ticks behind the market that we'd like to see this stop trail at. So if we'd like to see it continue to trail at 6 ticks behind as we did start, we can enter a value of 6. And then last, our frequency is going to be the number of ticks that we'd like to see in between each modification. So if we'd like to see that modify with every tick in profit, we can enter a value of 1. We can enter a value of 2 if we'd like to see that modify with every 2 ticks in profit, and so on. Just go ahead and use a value of 1 for this auto trail for right now. So after we see 3 ticks in profit, what we should see is our stop loss move to 6 ticks behind that last price that we did see in the market. And then also that frequency of 1 is going to ensure that every tick in profit that we do see after that point will go ahead and trail at 6 ticks behind. So go ahead and click OK, and OK once more on my ATM strategy menu. And if I happen to enter the market and the market moves in my favor, we'll see that as soon as we see 3 ticks in profit, that stop is going to begin to trail. It'll continue to until either our stop loss is hit or our profit target. So this definitely raises another question here. Maybe you'd like to, after so many ticks in profit, see that stop loss tighten up a little bit more than it is trailing at 6 ticks. You can definitely set up some different steps with that as well in that auto trail. So what I wanted to do is show you guys how you can do that, again from the ATM strategy menu. So if I go in there once more, then back to my stop strategy, I can change this here to actually more than 1 step, up to 3 steps I can define there. So I actually wanted to, maybe after 5 ticks in profit, I'd like to see the stop loss move to 4 ticks behind, and the frequency again of 1. And then maybe after we see 6 or 8 ticks in profit, let's go ahead and go with 6 since my profit target is set at 10. So after 6 ticks in profit, maybe we'd like to see our stop loss tighten up to 3 ticks behind. So I have that all defined here. We can go ahead, enter the market, and if the market does then move in our favor, after the first 3 ticks, we'll see that the modification does begin. After we do see the additional 2 ticks in profit to that 5 ticks, we'll see that it does tighten up. So that first modification happened, and then we went ahead and tightened that stop again. So that's going to tighten up your stop a little bit, just in the in the occasion that maybe your profit target isn't hit, and you'd like to see that trail just a little bit tighter as you see more profit. Now, not only can you use the trailing stop for that purpose, but what you can also do is you can completely eliminate your profit target. So if you enter a value of 0 for your profit target, you already have that trailing stop set up. If you're planning, a breakout, you're not really sure how much profit you're going to see, you can enter the market without a profit target, with only the stop loss to modify or to manage that trade. So, as soon as we do start seeing some profit, we are planning on seeing some. We'll see that that is modified, continues to trail. And as we continue to see profit, that will tighten, and then we will see, once the market eventually and inevitably does turn around, the stop loss will take us out of the market. So that's how you'd set up a runner within NinjaTrader there. All right, and any questions that you guys may have regarding ATM strategies, feel free to put those into the room. I'll try to get around to those, you know, as Adam brings them to my attention. But I wanted to go ahead and move on here just a little bit.
Wes?
Get into, go ahead.
Someone was asking where they can get that button to turn up and down the trend in real time for the real market.
That's a great question, and I'd definitely like to know. As soon as I find out, I'll definitely let everyone else know.
I think a NinjaTrader would be a little more expensive if that was the
case. Yeah, if that were the case, I think that would be a little more expensive as well. we may keep that feature to ourselves if that were the case.
All right.
So, yeah, no problem. All right, so I wanted to move on just a little bit here. I know that some people do use, instead of the chart trader to trade in the market, they may be using the Superdome window. I wasn't going to use the Superdome very much here, but I just wanted to kind of, put a Superdome here on the screen here so you guys can take a look at that. And you'll notice right away when using the Superdome that you have the same options available down here for your ATM strategy if you'd like to go ahead and customize that through the Superdome if you are trading primarily with that window. And we definitely do have some more information available on the Superdome if you're more interested in trading with the Superdome, learning a little bit more about that. You can definitely check that out on our events that we have through the week. Also, the NinjaTrader YouTube channel would be a great resource for learning more. Now, just to move things a step further here with this, I wanted to show you guys how you can use the Market Analyzer to set up your own custom watch list and really pull, everything here together as far as, your charting, your order entry, everything with that, your analysis. So let me go ahead from the Control Center here, go to File, select New, and Market Analyzer. And the first thing you notice is that you do see a blank Market Analyzer window. So you're going to have to go ahead and customize, what instruments you like to see as well as what columns you'd like to see for each of those instruments. So there are a few different ways we can add instruments. We can go ahead and double-click in the instrument field. We can type that name in manually, hit Enter, and then we'll see, everything coming in there from our fields here for that instrument. Now, if we'd like to maybe add an entire list of instruments, we can do that as well from the Add Instrument List option here in the right-click menu. So we have our default list. Maybe we'd like to add that in. So that's going to be everything you have to find for your defaults. And real quickly here, let's go ahead and add a label row as well, again from the right-click menu. We'll just call this one My Instruments. So maybe these are the instruments that I currently trade and what I've been taking a look into and interested in lately. But maybe I'd like to also take a look at some different instruments in the market. I can always add other lists or other instruments if I'd like to. Maybe add an entire stock list such as the Dow 30. And I'll just add another label row here just to separate those from each other. So we can take a look at those prices as well as our instruments that we have up here. We can also at this point customize the way that this is going to look. We can resize that if we'd like. We can do a little bit here with the columns. The first thing I wanted to do actually is remove some columns. Now we can move these columns around if we'd like. Maybe we'd like to see the ask price after the bid price. We can move those to the spot where we'd like just by clicking and dragging on those titles. But if we'd like to click and drag outside of the window entirely, we'll go ahead and remove those from our Market Analyzer list. And then we can actually customize, add in the columns that we'd like to by right-clicking and then selecting columns. So maybe I'd like to additionally add, some different things such as the net change column, and maybe also an indicator value. So maybe I have a custom indicator that I'd like to go ahead and take a look at the value in the form of a number, different things like that. I can definitely do so. So let me go ahead and select indicator. Click New for that one as well. And then from the right side here, we'll have to define the indicator that we'd like to take a look at. So you'll go through the list here. It'll be just as we had done before. I'm actually going to take a look at that RSI from this list. So we'll select RSI from the indicator. And we can also change the period and the smoothing period of that if we'd like to be reflective of what we have on the chart over there. So we have that available. It's going to ask us, what we want to plot as the data We can change that if we'd like to. The plot is going to be the average. We can change that to, instead of the average, we can change that to the actual RSI if we'd like to. All right, and then we do have the net change here. I wanted to define maybe some sell conditions with the net change, so I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. But before I do, I'll just go ahead and click OK so you can see how these are going to plot on there. You'll notice we do have the net change column listed as a percentage, and then we also do have the RSI listed as a number value as it would be as the indicator here. Now, some different things you may watch with the RSI are crosses over the 30 and 70 line or crosses over the 20 and 80. So you'll definitely want to maybe set up some different things here within the market analyzer to quickly visualize those, or maybe the same with the net change to see a positive or negative net change. So we can actually right-click, go into our columns menu, and then for my net change, I wanted to actually define a change in background color with a sell condition. So we'll go click on sell condition first. We'll click on the button over here to the right so we can define sell conditions. And I want to actually click new twice to define two new sell conditions. The first one, of course, is going to be for a positive net change that we do see. And I want to actually change that background from white to green in that case. And then you have to make sure the condition does match here. So if it's greater, if the value in the cell is greater than 0, we're going to see that that will be changed to a green color. Now if it's less than 0, we can go ahead and define a red color for that if we'd like. We'll click OK, and OK once more. You'll notice that the net change then does display the positive net change in green, the negative net change in red. So that's going to work out really well for us. We can also define, like I said, some different sell conditions for the RSI. So I wanted to do that real quick. Right-click, go back in my columns menu. And then for RSI, we can define a sell condition just as we did with the net change. So if I click there, click on the button, and then if I click new twice once more, I can maybe define a condition for if it's over 30, or excuse me, under 30 or over 70. So maybe instead of looking at changing color there, maybe I'd like to just go ahead and change put some text in there. So let's go ahead and go with is greater than for this one. If it's greater than 70, we want to display the text. All right, and then we'll do the same here. Only if it's less than, and we'll go ahead and go with 30. We'll just have it let us know that it's less than 30. So greater than 70, and then less than 30 defined there. We can go ahead and take a look at those. I click OK, and OK once more. You'll notice that any of those that are greater than 70 are going to show that they are. Any that are less than 30 are going to show that they are as well. You can define that text, however you'd like to customize that. You can also, define different colors, different things like that. That's going to make it a little more visual for you. And then to really tie this all together, what you can do is link all of these windows. So if you want to link those to the same color from this L button at the top, give you a drop-down menu, and then you click the same color on all of them. If you happen to click on any of these other instruments here, it's going to quickly flip you over to that instrument on the chart as well as your Superdome. Maybe you see we're less than 30 here on the March contract for the ES. We'd like to go ahead and click on that. We can see, that our RSI has dropped below 30. Maybe we're seeing somewhere we would like to enter the market there. We can also take a look at our net change, different things like that, and just easily click on that to change the instrument for our chart and our Superdome.
Wes, real quick, so just so you know, folks, this is an incredibly powerful piece of NinjaTrader, particularly if you're an equities trader, right? Most of us that have traded stocks are used to using scanners, and you don't have to buy a separate scanner. It's built into NinjaTrader. So we are working on our own custom templates of Market Analyzer for the DTS system, the Diversified Trading System. So if you can imagine the columns at the top saying Eagle, Falcon, and Hawk, they are being coded so that they will turn green when any one of the birds, basically is saying go long or short or something in the middle. So we're calling that the DTS flight path, and that's something you can look forward to in 2013. Okay,
all right, yeah, definitely. I think that would be a great added value for users that are using that DTS currently and would like to have some quick market scanning there with the market analyzer window. Definitely would work really well. And that's another thing with that. If you do happen to have maybe some indicators that are custom that the values are either a 1 or a 0 sort of thing, an on or an off sort of thing, you can definitely define sell conditions for those as well within NinjaTrader. So you'll just want to kind of take a look into how those work. Maybe talk with the developer of the actual code, so they have maybe a little more insight into what is what as far as what those signals mean. Then you can define those sell conditions within your market analyzer accordingly. All right, now I wanted to get into just a little bit with you guys here as well, how you can define your own custom strategy. I do have just a moment to go over that. So I'm actually going to close out of all of these windows, but I'm glad that you guys do all find value in using the market analyzer in tandem with these other windows for your order entry, using market replay to trade in simulation, fine-tuning your trading, and using also some ATM strategies to quickly enter and exit the market.
So Wes, I don't know what your schedule's like, but don't feel rushed. I mean, if we go over an hour, this is great content. So
sure,
take your time.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. So and if there are any additional questions that do come in at the end or anything like that, I'll definitely try to get to as many of those as I can. So I definitely appreciate the mention there that we do have some time. So let me go ahead, and I actually am going to close these real quick because I do wanted to take a little bit of time with you guys and share a little bit about how you can go ahead and get started with creating your own strategy. So let's go ahead and go to the File menu. Let me just disconnect from the simulated data. And the first thing that we want to do when we are developing our own strategy is we want to go ahead and go to the Tools menu. And then we'll notice we do have an option here for New Ninja Script. Now, if you'd like to create your own indicator, that's going to take some coding experience. So if you do have some experience in coding NinjaScript or coding in C# programming language, it may be easy for you to pick up. Go ahead and maybe code your own indicators, that sort of thing. However, if you don't have any experience in coding and you'd like to maybe customize your own strategy based off of different indicator values, price action, events, different things like that, you can always click on Strategy here. And the first window that we do receive when we go to create a new strategy is the Strategy Wizard, just letting us know that we can go ahead and configure this strategy from here. We can unlock that code if we would like to go ahead and code that from our end if we do have some coding experience. However, if you do not, you can always click Next and continue on with the wizard and create your entire strategy through this wizard here. So that's going to be something that's going to prove to be really, really good for maybe somebody that's not as familiar with coding, but maybe have some ideas for some different conditions that you'd like to enter trades for. So for this, I wanted to actually just set up just a really simple indicator-based strategy. This is going to be a crossover of the SMA. So the first thing we need to do is give the let me go ahead and give that a different name here. All right, so we can give that strategy a name, and then we want to enter a short description of what we want to do with this strategy, how we want that to work. So we can kind of take a look at that later when we have all of our strategies and maybe see what's going to work most profitable in what markets and how to use those. All right, so we'll go ahead and click Next. And since we are limited on the time here, I could definitely get into a lot of depth as far as creating your strategy and how you can do different things with that. The user-defined inputs, I'm actually going to skip over that today, but that's going to be the inputs that you're going to use to maybe have some different variables with your strategy, how that's going to run, and definitely going to be really handy if you plan to do any optimization with your strategy, see how that's going to work best in what markets and using those parameters. So I'm not actually going to define any user-defined inputs for today. Just go ahead and click Next, and we'll make this strictly based off of indicators. So the first set that I want to define here, I'll go ahead and click Add for the condition here. So we have conditions and actions. Click add there, and then I can go ahead and expand indicators on both sides. You see we do have quite a few different things here. We can definitely take a look at price data, different things like that, time, as well as some different miscellaneous things that are available. So bar since entry, different things like that. I'm just going to go ahead and go with indicators on both sides. And so if I move down actually to SMA and select that on the left side here, I can change my period for that SMA. I want to make this one a longer period, maybe a 50-period SMA. And then maybe with my crossover, I want to see that with an SMA that's a 50-period as well as an SMA that is a 21-period. So maybe when I see a crossover of the 50 over the 21, excuse me. All right, so maybe when I see the 50 cross over the 21-period SMA, I'd like to, see something happen there. Now, with the actions, one thing to note with NinjaTrader strategy is you don't have to use it for order management. Now, that's kind of a common misconception, that you have to, use it to enter and exit the market. You definitely can do that. We do have a number of different options available. Maybe you'd like to, simply do a drawing on the chart, when those conditions are true. Maybe you'd like to go ahead and do, something miscellaneous, an alert, something like that. You can definitely define those as well. You don't have to, make this an order management sort of thing. But I wanted to actually just go ahead and set this to enter a long position so we can actually test this strategy, see how it's going to work out. So click OK. So when the 50-period SMA crosses over the 20-period SMA, we're going to go ahead and enter long in the market. Now we can define another set. We can define actually up to 10 sets for each strategy using the wizard. So let me go ahead and define one more set, and with this one just going to go ahead and define the inverse of what we had defined there. So let me just go ahead really quick with our SMA. This one of course being the 50-period SMA, and then the one on the right being the 21-period SMA. All right, and this one is going to be crossed below. So when that 50 crosses below the 20, maybe we'd like to, do, instead of entering that long position, maybe we'd like to, at that time, enter a short position. Now, what we can do is actually, and if you want more information on this, it's definitely available on the YouTube channel as well as going to be available through our training events throughout the week. So in our automated strategy development webinar, we do have a little more information on, whether you want to have a managed or unmanaged strategy here, and that's going to be dependent on whether you're entering and exiting the market with these sets or whether you're actually using profit targets and stop losses, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually use this to enter a short position for these signals here. So we have a long position and a short position here. And then next what we can actually do is define a stop loss and profit target. Now this is going to be for any of those exits, and this is going to make it a managed strategy here. If I click add, we have our stops and targets here. We can go ahead and define those. First I'll go ahead and define a profit target, and I'm going to set this actually from percent to tick, so we can set this up kind of like what we had in the ATM strategy, and then just go ahead and go with a value of 10 as what we had before. And then for stop loss, just wanted to do the same thing, set that to a value of ticks, and in the value itself here, go ahead and set that to 6 ticks behind our entry price. So once we have everything configured with our strategy ready to go, you can always make this a little more robust if you'd like, but I'm going to go ahead and click next at this time. And when I click finish, it's going to go ahead and compile my strategy. And you're going to hear a chime once that is finished, and from there we can actually get started, testing our strategy either with, live data, with market replay data, or actually using, within NinjaTrader we do have some tools for testing those strategies and gathering a little more data. So I'm actually going to go from the File menu to New, and I'm going to select Strategy Analyzer. So before we'd like to actually use this strategy in a live market or even in a simulation environment, we can really quickly get some results on how that's going to work by using the Strategy Analyzer. Now that did open on another window, so give me just a moment. I'll pull that over here. All right, so we have the strategy analyzer available for us here. I've already selected here on the right-hand side for my backtest the indicator warehouse strategy. So you can select the strategy you'd like to use, whether that's one you just defined or maybe one in the past that you'd like to take a look at some different things. We also do have optimization and walk-forward optimization available. Those are going to be more for if you do have user-defined inputs for that strategy defined. Now, since I don't, you're just going to see this my input here that's not actually linked to anything. So we're not going to be able to optimize the strategy. It's going to either work in a market and on a certain time frame, or it's not going to. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and how about we use the ES here, and then we can use our different time frame from when we want that to start, when we want that to end. Also the session template that we'd like to use. Maybe we'd like to see that just trading in the regular trading hours. We can do that if we'd like to by selecting it from the list here. So let me go ahead and just go with regular trading hours there for our CME US Index futures, and then we can also at this time define some different things down here. Again, more information on this available in the Automated Strategy Development webinar. So once we have everything ready to go, we can actually run our backtest. Click this Run Backtest button at the bottom. And our backtest is currently in progress. And you'll see that once we are finished with this test, we're going to have a whole wealth of information here available for us regarding this strategy and how it's going to work for us. So first of all, the first thing that we may notice is that the total net profit there on all trades is going to be overall negative value. So this may not be a strategy that we'd like to use in this market or on that time frame. But we can definitely take a look into using it on different time frames, different markets, and see if that's going to be profitable in any of those. We can also take a look at the chart here. We can see historically those trades. Obviously there was a good one that did occur here. We entered the market all the way down here at 1438.25, and then we did actually exit the market at 1440.75. So that was a nice profitable trade that we did have in the market. And if you'd like to see all of those individually, you can take a look at trades, see the winning and losing trades there individually. You can see each individual execution. And this is a feature that I really like, is taking a look at the graph. So you can see if at any period in time that was really profitable, which periods worked out the best. Obviously it was really not very profitable through this time here. It looks like in May. However, we may see it be a little more profitable here. In just recently here, we've seen a little spike in activity there, and that working out for us, that strategy. So we can see when and what types of market conditions historically this worked well on. So maybe get an idea of what we can use that on in the future. All right, we also do have the periods. You can change the period here if you want to take a look on a monthly basis, which months were good months, which months were bad months. You can take a look here. So it actually looks like, in March we did see, sorry about that, in March we did see some profit with that. However, it looks like we did see, more often than not, we did see some losses with this, using this strategy. We can see which months were good, which months were bad, and kind of define from there, where we'd like to use this and what kind of market conditions. A little bit more information there. And then, of course, if you'd like to review your settings, you can go over to the settings menu, take a look at all of those there, and make your decision based on that. All right, and definitely a great word there from Adam. Definitely maybe should have used the diversified trading system instead of my simple SMA crossover to generate maybe some more profits here. But you can definitely take a look at that within NinjaTrader, see what you're going to historically see profits on, and what's going to work best for you. Now, without anything further, if you guys do have any questions, I will actually hold those for just a moment, but I wanted to share with you guys actually how you can save on NinjaTrader today. So I'll just move here to my next slide. And for those of you in the room, I didn't actually get the results from that poll, but I will get those later. And if you may already be using NinjaTrader, you'd like to at this time upgrade to a lifetime license of NinjaTrader, we do have some deals available for you here today. Now, if you are interested in purchasing a multi-broker lifetime license of NinjaTrader, you can do so today for a discounted price of $1,295. Now, it's going to be $200 off of our regular $1,495 price. And if you would like to purchase a single broker lifetime license of NinjaTrader, you can do so today for $895 instead of our regular $995 price. So that's $100 savings, for the holidays for you today. And also, NinjaTrader would make a great gift. So if you'd like to maybe purchase for a loved one that's maybe getting into trading, and you'd like to do that, you definitely can. Just make sure and get that person's name on the account there for NinjaTrader. We also do have available here for you guys today, and this is the first ever offer that we have for this. But if you'd like to actually upgrade from your single broker to a multi-broker license, maybe you're wanting to trade using some different technologies within NinjaTrader, get all of your accounts together, and I definitely think it's best to keep all of your eggs in one basket. You can do so with this offer that we have here for you today. You can actually save $100 off of that upgrade. So normally that would be a $500 price there to upgrade from a single broker to a multi-broker lifetime license. But you can actually do that today for $400. And another thing to note, any of you in the room that may be, upgrading from your lease to a lifetime license, you can do that actually by, we do actually offer a prorated discount additional to that. So if you are leasing, we will prorate any unused subscription time in addition to the discount offer that we have for you guys today. And the last offer, definitely not least here, is anybody in the room here today that has maybe been using NinjaTrader for simulated trading for a while. Maybe you're new to NinjaTrader, but you'd like to go ahead and get started using NinjaTrader for your live trading. You can actually do that for free, absolutely, for 1 month. And this does only apply to those in the room that are first-time purchasers. So if you do already own NinjaTrader, unfortunately you will not be able to do this, but if maybe you'd like to go ahead and get started, check out the live features of NinjaTrader. You can do that absolutely for free for 30 days. So if you sign up for your quarterly lease, after this event here, you can go ahead and do so. The billing will only begin after that first month of service there, and you can cancel anytime within that first 30 days at no charge to you. Now, to take advantage of this offer, what you will need to do, since this is an exclusive offer, what you'll need to do is send that directly to me, and that's going to be an email to sales@ninjatrader.com, and just put in the subject line Indicator Warehouse webinar discount. And we will include with that, some things you want to include are your phone number, and you'll definitely also want to include the purchase option you'd like to take advantage of. If you have a few more questions, maybe things like that regarding the purchase, one of our sales team members would be more than happy to get on the phone with you and maybe talk to you a little bit more about your needs and how we can definitely work with you here at NinjaTrader. Now, this discount purchase link will be sent back to you by email only, and you'll definitely want to act now, as this webinar discount will expire at the close of business tomorrow. So this is only going to be good until the close of business tomorrow. You'll definitely want to act on it as soon as you can. And just to go back through that here, I hope I didn't move too fast, but I wanted to just kind of display those options here in the room one by one for you guys. And if any questions do come in, Adam, you want to go ahead and read those to me, I can try to get around to those as I'm displaying these options here.
No problem. So I've been actually answering questions while you've been talking. I've got two more for you, but I just wanted to say real quick, I didn't know about these bonuses. These are awesome. So thank you very much for making this available to our customers. So one of the questions, it's interesting, is it possible to customize one of the standard indicators that comes with Ninja?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that is something that you should be able to do. All of that code for the indicators that are within NinjaTrader, you should be able to take a look at that code and kind of see how those are going to work for you. If you'd like to maybe change something with that, we do actually have quite a few educational materials available actually in the NinjaTrader Help Guide. So let me real quickly here, if you do have NinjaTrader open, you can actually go access the Help Guide from the Help menu and then just go to Help there. And then right within our Help Guide, we have some different samples available, things like that regarding NinjaScript, actually an entire section within the Help Guide. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more, we do have a lot available here, some basic programming concepts. Also, some different things on developing indicators, how that's going to work. We also do have samples for each of those, language reference, different things like that. So you can actually see, and I forget sometimes here, but it should be in one of these here. Some different things here. If you'd like to go ahead and get started creating your own indicators, we have some tutorials available, and we actually do have code available for each, and a little bit description on how that logic for that indicator does work. So we have all of those here. You can take a look at those indicator methods, how that's going to work, and maybe incorporate that into your own custom indicator. Definitely a great question.
So quick question here from Jim. Does NinjaTrader work with Australian brokers?
Jim, that's a great question. That would depend on the broker that you are using. I know there are some that we do support through that, so that would be something to definitely contact our sales team on, maybe get a little more information on some of the brokerage partners that we do have down in Australia.
All right, terrific. Well, Wesley, I appreciate you staying on a little longer than we had agreed to, but this was a lot of information packed into a short amount of time. I did hit record when this started, so the system, once I archive it, should send it out to y'all, via your email, and then we're also going to do a blog post, and we'll make sure that the recording is on our blog. Again, I just want to thank Wesley for joining us today. It really helped. For me, this clarifies why companies like Indicator Warehouse exist. Why do you have a third-party product provider like us if you've got this NinjaTrader? Because and what I always say to that is start with NinjaTrader, right? It's got the basics, and it's an incredibly powerful system. And then it kind of comes down to, do you want to mow your own lawn, or do you want someone to do it for you? And so you could very easily do everything you need through NinjaTrader. If you want to put in the time and the effort, all the tools are there. If you want someone to have already done it for you, well, that's why we exist. So it's a very symbiotic relationship. So with that, if there's no other questions, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And Wesley, again, thank you so much, and we'll look forward to the next time.
Absolutely, and thank you, Adam. I definitely do appreciate the airtime here, and I appreciate the time that everyone here in the room did take to learn a little bit more about how NinjaTrader can definitely benefit their trading, and also stick around for those offers that I have. I hope you do take advantage of those. Again, any questions that you have, I do have my information here on the screen. That's sales@ninjatrader.com. Just put attention Wesley in that subject line.